The next candidate is Grace Soprin. The second name is difficult. She'll tell us how to pronounce it, Mrule or something. And she can come. Eh? Amurle. Amrule. Amurle. Okay. Here it is. Let's have the candidate come, please. Welcome, Dr. Grace.
Thank you, sir.
Soprin.
Yes, sir.
The second name is difficult. You will teach us how to pronounce it.
Amurle.
Amurle.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you today. Thank you for responding to the invitation of Kenyans to have suitable candidates apply for the position of IEBC Commissioner. And congratulations for being shortlisted.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Nelson Makanda. I chair this team, and I want to invite my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Madam Amurle, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Naitwa Bwana Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa chopo hili la uteuzi na karibu.
Asante.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
Caroline Kituku, a member of this panel.
Thank you, Carol.
Good morning, Madam.
Morning.
Adam Solo, a member of the selection panel.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Madam.
Morning.
Nicodemus Bore, a member of the panel.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, and I'm a member of this panel. Welcome.
Thank you, Fatuma.
Good morning, Dr. Amurle.
Good morning.
My name is 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐬𝐵, and I'm a member of the selection panel. Karibu sana.
Asante, Ambassador.
Good morning, Dr. Grace.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of the selection panel, and we welcome you to this interaction session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming. We would like you to take some time, 5 minutes, and tell us about yourself. Why do you think you're suitable for this position? Mention if you have any special awards or recognition, and if you belong to any professional group or society. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. First, I want to thank you and this panel for giving me an opportunity to present myself today for this interview. I appreciate it. Secondly, my name is Grace Soprin Amurle, as you have mentioned. I come from West Pokot County, a county known for its hidden treasures. I am a strategic financial expert with over 30 years of experience in public and private sector, mostly NGOs. Chair, I have a PhD in business administration, a master's degree in business administration, and bachelor's degree in international business administration. Chair, I have worked, currently I'm actually a lead consultant in a consulting firm that we started last year, so it is still small, supporting small and medium-sized organization enterprises, strengthening their financial management systems, strengthening their governance. Equally, I sit as the chair of the Audit Committee of County Assembly of West Pokot, where I've been a chair since 2013. And in that role, as you all know, audit committees plays a critical role in ensuring good governance, accountability by county governments. In this position, Chair, we have improved, actually, together with the management of the county assembly, to bring good accountability to and transparency, and now moved the county from where it was, the county assembly, in its financial reporting, from getting a disclaimer, adverse, and even qualified accounts, to the current unmodified or a clean audit opinion in the financial year FY 2023-2024. I'm proud to have been part of that. Chair, as I sit as the chair of the Audit Committee of West Pokot County, with the support of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, in these forums where it is building capacity for audit committees across the 47 counties and heads of internal audits. They formed a caucus because there is an issue of effectiveness of audit committees in the county governments, both at the county assembly and the executive. So there's a caucus that was formed, chaired by Honorable FCPA, Honorable Mwandengu, and through that caucus, one of the objectives or key activities is to carry out research on how can we make these audit committees become more effective as envisaged in the law and also in the Gazette Notice number 2690 with the guidelines on audit committee. I'm proud to be a part of that research team. Currently, together with the Council of Governors and the ISPAC, we are putting up modalities on how to carry out that research that can improve and strengthen the governance of counties. Before that, Chair, I sat and had a privilege of working with the county government as the Chief Officer for Finance and Economic Planning Department. That is from 2021 to 2022, when the government changed over. In my position as a Chief Finance and Economic Planning, I brought about several transformations in that county. I came from the private sector, and therefore I actually realized with speed the kind of inefficiencies in the county itself. And therefore I transformed, improved systems, improved the way the county runs, brought about professionalism, code of conduct, ethics in the finance department, and actually encouraged the county to train its staff on code of conduct, because that is what I saw coming from the private sector, and it strengthened the management of the counties. In addition, I actually assisted the county to improve its expenditure on development. Having entered in February 2021, we only had 4 months to the end of the financial year. I instituted mechanisms, Chair, that enable the county reach close to 80% of spent by the end of the financial year. Chair, before that, and just to mention, through the efforts that I made in that 1.5 years, Chair, I was recognized and awarded the best chief officer in the county of West Pokot through the County Gala Awards of 2022. Before that, Chair, I worked at the African Economic Research Consortium for 16 years as a chief finance officer. This is an international organization that actually builds the capacity of African researchers across Africa, and networking with the universities and research institutions regionally and even outside to build capacity of people that can be employed by governments to strengthen the policy making at the government, economic policy at the government level. I was privileged to work as a top management team, improving and strengthening the governance of that institutions, and also leading in financial management of the institution, ensuring risk management processes are in place. Before working in AERC, I worked with an organization, also NGO. If you all know, there was an organization called Family Planning Association of Kenya. Now it has been branded to be called Family Health Options of Kenya. I worked there for 14 years. One of the key achievements I brought about, Chair, was the sustainability together with the team of the organization. When we came in, we actually looked ahead 10, 20 years from now. Where will this organization be without the donor funding? Together with the team, we sought for support from the government to give us land to construct clinics and land to construct our own headquarters. Chair, we constructed buildings through support, through the government support of land, and through the partners. We constructed clinics in Eldoret, reproductive health clinics in Eldoret, Nakuru, Kisumu, Thika, and Meru, and in Nairobi as well. That organization, we left standing with good, sustainable, and good systems in place. Before that, Chair, I first joined the government as my first employer in 1980, where I was grounded actually in all this, in the financial management systems and accounting for 8 years. In those periods, the government sponsored me for my CPA 1, CPA 2, and CPA 3. And by the time I was finishing CPA 3, I think I was awarded the best student or candidate in auditing 2, one of the papers. And I remember Deloitte and Touch that time, known as Deloitte Touch, giving me an award of the same. And I think in my papers, you will see an acknowledgement and appreciation by the Chief of Accounting Services. Thank you, sir, in brief. And also to say I grew up in West Pokot. That is where I got my first education up to my Form 4 level, where I got a Division 1. Thank you, sir.
Are you a member of ISPAC?
Yes, sir, I'm a member of ISPAC, okay. And I'm a member of ISACA as well. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Caroline?
Thank you, Chair, and well done, Grace, for all the work that you're doing. The good job that you've done thus far. So back to the mandate of IEBC in regard to conducting and supervising elections. So what are some of the barriers that women experience in electoral processes? And should you be successful and become a member of the IEBC, how can you address those barriers? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. We have witnessed several issues that affect women during election processes. Right from the conduct of voter registration, during voting itself, and probably after. The Constitution is very clear and gives us IEBC the mandate to ensure that there's inclusiveness in the electoral process, to ensure that women and those who are underprivileged from marginalized places and people with disabilities, there should be policies and processes on how to manage and ensure that they get equal representation and equal opportunities, starting from even registration. So women, first information must reach to women. So when we are doing voter education, do we have targeted approach to reach women? not women even in the rural areas, women who are actually do not have time, they are running about trying to make ends meet with their families, they are in farms. What education, how do we reach them? Right from our education, when we are doing voter education. So we must have strategies targeting those individuals. How do we reach them? How do we use media? How do we use the local infrastructures that we have in place, including up to Nyumba Kumi, to reach women right from their places? And number two, during election, how do we make sure that women are protected, those who are vying for seats and also those who are just coming to vote? How do we make sure they are not harassed and they have easy access to these polling stations and even given priority when they are voting in the line? Some of them have children and they have children to go and take care of. Do we have policies in place? How can we strengthen those policies in IEBC to ensure that these provisions in the law are actually we actualize them? And even after the election itself, we need to carry out an audit and ask ourselves, 2022 elections is past. How did we handle women? Have we heard from them? Have we heard from them? Can we even hear from them? What have been some of their challenges? Did we reach them? Can we address those right from information that we have done in monitoring and evaluation? Have we done that monitoring and evaluation to reach women and we hear them, so that we use that information even to strengthen our policies, to strengthen our regulations, so that we can reach more women? Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Just a follow-up, a quick one, and with 2 minutes or under 2 minutes. What's one of the biggest barriers women experience in the electoral processes is cultural, gender stereotypes, and how culture comes in to disenfranchise them or sometimes to inhibit their right to participate in the electoral processes, both as candidates and as electorates. So what, in your view, should be done to address the gender issues that women experience during the electoral processes?
Thank you, Madam. I will go back to education, not just education of the women, but education of the communities. Because these are the communities who have stereotyped women, like they cannot even vie, they should not, as women. Like from the communities where we come from, some of us, women are seen as people who cannot rule or oversight. You see, they should just be in the farms and at home. So how do we sensitize the community, the men? And the men, how can we reach out to those men with those kind of negative scenarios where they think women should just not even fight for MCA, fight for. So we should target, that's why I'm still thinking about targeted education to those specific communities with those kind of ethnic issues. And we know them. So either the way we target our information, we can use their people, we can use the young people, we can use the GNCs that we have currently. They're actually very good to reach out to these women and say, yes, and the men to say we need more women, and even show the women who have succeeded and show what they have done and use them actually as mentors. So women who have succeeded in those particular places can be used as mentors. So that's my thinking.
Thank you, Grace. I wish you well, and thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I come to FCS 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐚𝐜𝐞 to ask some questions. Ambassador, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Dr. Amurle.
Yes, Madam.
I hope I pronounce it correctly.
You got it right.
Thank you. Numerous reports of observers have written and made recommendations about physical indiscipline and wastage of public funds in unnecessary expenditures in almost all the activities in the electoral cycle by the IEBC. I would like to request you to name 3 electoral activities where there is physical indiscipline in terms of expenditure of money. And then I will ask you the follow-up question. Just 3 activities in the electoral cycle.
Number 1, procurement. Do we have an effective, efficient procurement processes? That's number 1 in the procurement. Number 2, I will also talk about, when you talk about voter education and the way and the people we use, how effective, how efficient, how impactful are those exercises? Do we just use money for the same? Number 3, voter registration is another expensive exercise. It should be continuous so that we don't have a one period of just doing voter registration.
Very good. Those three that you have named, be very specific in procurement. What in procurement leads to these leakages of public funds and misuse of public funds? What in voter education is unnecessary expenditure or where there is physical indiscipline? And what in voter registration? Which areas? And then once you identify the specificities of those areas, how, if you are fortunate enough to be a member of the Electoral Commission, how are you going to address these leakages and close those taps so that you save public funds?
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll start with procurement. Procurement is an activity that starts with planning, right from planning and budgeting. How, first of all, did we come up with those particular activities and estimates in our budget? Number 2, do we have a procurement plan that was approved by the IEBC board? A procurement plan on how, when, the method that will be used to procure these items.
They do. IEBC has all those.
Thank you.
Just address the leakages.
The leakages actually comes in when you are now carrying out the procurement itself and ensuring that there is transparency in the procurement of those items. There's competitiveness in procurement of those items, and there is complete transparency and approval of anything that is procured with good systems. I'm hoping you have policies and procedures, and Public Procurement and Disposal Act is very clear on how procurement is conducted.
Thank you.
And we have the other one of voter education, expenditure on voter education. I had actually said the way you can reduce and actually expenditure voter education in ensuring that you do a continuous voter education throughout the electoral process, and the way you can do also bring in another suggestion is that apart from vetting individuals and vetting organizations to do voter education, we can use the current infrastructures that we have in place. The current infrastructure rise up to the county level, up to the ward level, up to the constituency and ward level, up to the Nyumba Kumi ward level. The already existing infrastructures that IEBC can synergize with these teams and carry out a continuous voter education. That will reduce expenditure on that part. Voter registration is also another one that I said it should be continuous process, and the way you can use it, of course, which IEBC is currently using, is actually using technology, which is efficient, cost-effective, and actually accountable and transparent. I don't know whether I've answered your questions.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Daktari, and all the best. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. I invite 𝐆𝐫𝐚𝐜𝐞 to ask you some questions.
Thank you, Chair. And let me start by appreciating and acknowledging the academic journey that you've traveled.
Thank you.
From CPA to PhD level. That's number 1. The fact that you are coming from a marginalized community, West Pokot. And thirdly, that you are a woman. and you've achieved all this. So receive accolades and
Thank you so much.
appreciation
Thank you so
of
much.
the journey that you have traveled.
Yeah.
Now, as a commissioner, if you succeed at IEBC, you will be making decisions. In fact, one of the requirements or functions of commissioners is actually to make decisions at IEBC. And those decisions, given the mandate of IEBC, will be impacting the millions of Kenyans. So how or what steps would you take to ensure that whatever decision that you make as commissioners, ensure there is fair, transparent, and informed decision making at IEBC?
Thank you. Thank you so much, FCPA Tanush, for that question. IEBC, as commissioner, first, is supposed to remain credible. That is its vision. Its vision is actually to be a credible institution with many Kenyans aspiring and actually getting the pride of Kenyans. But is that the picture today? So the picture today is that there is mistrust, there is a bit of incredibility of IEBC. So how do I contribute to ensuring that IEBC first remains independent? Independent in its actions, impartial, and ensuring that it is actually, it works with every other partner, but remains firm as far as its role is concerned in decision making without interference from political parties, from either side of the arm of government, and remains firm with its decision. As a commissioner, I will actually be part and also contribute to ensuring that there is collectivity, there is collegiality in decision making, even if there is variance or disagreement in between. We can agree to disagree, but out there we remain as one, because our decision, as you say, can affect the entire stability of this country. Therefore, as a commissioner, I will actually contribute to ensuring that we abide by the law and we remain making decisions guided by the frameworks of the regulations that are already there. I've worked in the government, and I know that regulations can protect you if you remain within those, if you really deal and make decisions based on those frameworks. Decisions sometimes that you have to consult. You really have to consult, because this is an entire thing that, as you say, can affect millions of Kenyans. As you consult, you remain firm and remain making decisions that are guided by the regulations, guided by the law. That way, you will actually stand firm with that. And as a commissioner, I will contribute significantly to ensuring that there is a teamwork and there is collective decision making as part of my job. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Daktari, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you very much. Evans Misati, please ask some questions.
Much, Chairman. Grace, I also wanted to take you the questions. I'm happy. I've seen your credentials, and now have you looked at the IPC report, the post-election report? Had any chance to look at it?
Briefly, sir.
Briefly, sir. That's good. Now, when we look at the report, they had a plan, they had a budget, but when you look at the report, the mention of the word challenge is almost everywhere. They're mentioning more of the challenges than successes. So if you are given an opportunity and you are a commissioner of IPC, what will you do to ensure that the things that you have planned to do are actually done and are achieved?
Thank you, sir. I have experience in strategic management, developing strategic plans over 20 years. and working in an NGO sector, if you can prepare a strategic plan and have a beautiful, logical framework for monitoring, and you don't do it, you don't monitor, you don't find out where's the status of activities, you come up with key results areas. It's so beautifully done. As a commissioner, that is the first important thing that we need to do, because it's about strategy. Do we have a strategic plan in place? What are the key results areas? What is our logical framework for monitoring and evaluation? And that should be done almost periodically and regularly, so that we achieve and ensure that those challenges that we have and faced, and they have been mentioned in this document of evaluation of the 2022, which actually should be a learning tool for these commissioners that are now coming in. You start from where can we improve, so that we have a continuous improvement. Where are the challenges? How can we actually come up with a risk management matrix that tracks these challenges, because they are a risk. They are actually a risk, so that you monitor and ensure that you address these challenges. So that will be the first and most important thing that this committee should handle, these commissioners should handle, and also learn from past experiences. And that is what has been, that is what is in the evaluation report. How can we use that evaluation report to ensure that we address these challenges? Yes, sir, there were many challenges right from voter registration, from voter voting, from voter counting, and also in the whole issue of governance.
Let us be specific to one of the challenges they mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Delays in signing of contracts due to litigation by vendors, affected amount of time provided for the implementation of various. So what do you talk about that? Particularly the vendors, contracts and litigations as one of the challenges.
Yes, I will look at the policies that are in place, because actually policies guide decision making. We look at whether the processes were followed, and I'm assuming that is in procurement of various activities. So were the laws not followed? And why were the laws not followed? Is it because people don't know what they are doing? Or is it because vendors normally, should be transparency in all procurement processes, right from the time they call for quotation, right from the opening of those quotations, and when even you are awarding, there should be transparency. And if there is transparency, then we should be able to reduce these litigations from vendors.
Thanks so much. And from your experience, you have rich experience here. Now, do you think we should be able to, as a country, this issue where we focus on elections as a matter of life and death? What will you say about that in view of the fact that in some other countries, systems work? Somebody can get healthcare, roads and other things without necessity. In our country here, a Panadol that goes to a dispensary must go through a process of some politics. So what do you, from where you sit, what do you think we should be able to do?
Number one, sir, thank you for that question. For me, we should be able to see IEBC visible even as now, not waiting for the 2027 election. It was 2022 election, and it's like it was an end itself. It was like an event. Me sitting as a normal voter, normal citizen of Kenya. So how can we make this institution become an institution that Kenyans are proud of? Kenyans are actually proud of when they hear IEBC. Institution that others can come and benchmark against the entire world and Africa as a whole. How can we do that? The first thing and most important thing is to gain that trust from the people that we can actually run a credible and transparent, accountable institution. That actually the next election that we are going to manage, given an opportunity to become a commissioner, will be an election that nobody will contest against and Kenyans will be happy about, and we leave behind an institution that's sustainable and others can come and run it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for your answers. But as we finish, kindly share some experience from your place. Do you have some photo happened in West Pokot, and what are some of the reasons which cause that, particularly in your area where you come from?
Thank you, sir. I come from West Pokot County, and in West Pokot County is a marginalized county where most of, quite a number, or the first area of the region is actually sparsely populated also, and people are, the economic means is actually about rearing cattle and so forth. So, in fact, it was just recently I came from West Pokot, and I asked that same question. I was there. I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out from the people, what is, how do we reach that Pokot that is out there looking after his cattle and looking for grass and so forth? How can we, do they actually come to vote? Then most of them are saying, but do they look after the cattle, looking for this cattle, going to take care of the cattle, or do they come to line up to vote for somebody? First of all, they don't know the meaning. They don't know the meaning of voting. They don't understand how voting related to their current situation. So that is the education that we need to take to the people with Pokot. That if we vote for an MCA, what does it mean? When we vote for a women rep, what does it mean to you? When we vote for a member of parliament, what does it mean to you? What do you expect from them? So that they know their responsibility, their rights, and also their responsibility, and actually call upon these people. Once they have been voted in, where do they go to? Do they come back? How can these people monitor that we actually saw some improvement when we voted for these guys? And therefore, we can come eagerly, even leave our cows were grazing there, and come and vote. And be assured first of security. You know, those areas are insecure. So they need, during election, to be secure. We need to enhance security in those areas so that these people can actually come and vote freely and fairly, and give them that opportunity to come and vote, so that they don't have all this other baggage or problem of ensuring that there is security for their children, there's security for their cows, and so forth. So can we, as Kenyans, ensure that there's security in that place, educate those people, and I'm sure they will be eager to come and vote. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much, and I wish you well.
Thank you, sir.
Over to you, Chair.
Thank you.
I ask Ms. Fatuma to ask some questions, please.
Thank you, Chair. Madam Amorole.
Yes, madam.
You will be expected as a commissioner to engage stakeholders who have divergent interests, and still maintain IEBC's neutrality as an impartial arbiter. Would you please share with us an experience that exhibits, or rather shows us, that you have the ability to engage in such circumstances?
Yes, madam. Thank you very much, Madam Fatuma. Okay. I'm hoping I understood your question well. Stakeholders is very critical, and actually is a key success factor for this institution to succeed. It cannot work on its own. It needs to work with the government in place. It needs to work with the political parties, which is a key stakeholder. It needs to work with the public themselves. It needs to work with the media, and they need to work with the youth. They need to work with the women. They need to work with the people, the church-based organizations, all of them, including the Muslim-based organizations. They need to work with all of them. They are so critical. As we said, 𝐒𝐨𝐫𝐚𝐜𝐶 said, it is critical, this role that we play. And therefore, all these partners are also accountable for the success of IEBC. So who are these partners? How can we bring them on board? And they know their responsibilities, so that we work together as a team, together with these key partners, including political parties, not only political, even the government. Do they know that the outcomes of IEBC can actually affect the image of this country here and beyond and the entire world. And therefore, how do we make
Just
sure?
one minute, sorry to interrupt
Yes,
you. I wanted you to share with us an experience
Yes.
that actually exhibits or shows us you have the ability
To manage
if
stakeholders.
considered,
Yes.
to manage those stakeholders who have divergent interests and yet maintain the impartiality of IEBC.
Thank you.
So
Madam.
demonstrate an experience to us.
Yeah, I will just quote as an experience I had. I don't know whether they had a different diverged interests, but anyway, they had interests. But this is at the county level, where there was almost like a crisis. When I came in, and there's a crisis everywhere. There's a crisis in the Ministry of Health, and there's a crisis almost like things are not moving, you know. So bringing all the stakeholders on board, including means bringing all the departments on board. And bringing all the departments on board, here we had different departments with their different interests, also with their different different expectations. They have actually different expectations and different. So how we managed to bring all of them together and to work as a team, including the departments that actually their activities will affect another department. So through that process, we manage actually with us, like being the key people who are actually bringing them together, came up with an activity called Rapid Results Initiative and brought those stakeholders together as a team. It actually came up and became very clear that the interest of all of them could actually be managed when you bring all these stakeholders together. When you bring all of them together, that I think may not be a very good example, but I think that is what we manage, and actually together worked as a team. As we bring the stakeholders together, you'll actually find out that some of them have also their interests, which are not actually good for the common good or for the outcome of this activity. So how did we handle that? We actually handled that by engaging the top management and ensuring that please address these teams that are not working like a team. They were not actually working like a team because they had their own interests. Thank you, Madam. I'm not sure whether that was a very good example. But the other example that I can give, sitting as a chair of a board of trustees, which I sat for 15 years, means bringing on board different organizations that actually they also have their own diverse interests. This is bringing the custodian, who is the bank. They want to have as much money as possible from this fund so that they can get enough resources. We have the investment manager who wants actually, and you are actually as a trustee, wanting to perform as much as possible. And at the same time, you also have yes, your first manager, and you also have another party of an administrator at the same time. So all of them have their diverse interests. You will find the bank with as much as money in the bank account. And then you'll ask, but what is this money doing in the bank account when it should be invested? Why is the investment manager not actually requesting for this money? There should be not money sitting in the bank even for 1 single hour or 1 single night. So they have the interest. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nicodemus Bore, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Madam Grace, I join FCPA Tanui in congratulating your journey through the ranks and also through the education ranks, and we wish you all the best as you endeavor to serve the country in the different capacities.
Thank you, sir.
You are currently the Chief Officer of West Pokot County.
Up to 2022, end of 2022, when the government changed.
Also, you are no longer serving.
No, I'm the chair of the audit committee of the county assembly when I left as the chief officer because of change of government.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, and in your CV, it's you have also indicated that you are a very strong financial manager.
Yes.
With proper management skills.
And
how will you leverage on this experience in dealing with the challenges of inadequate funding at the IEBC?
Thank you, sir. I'll go for doing more for less. I'll bring in strategies on how can we do more for less by carrying out an audit of our current expenditures and our current, how we use our resources. That's number one. Can we innovate? Can we come up with various ways of carrying out our activities? This is how can we even leverage on our partners to do more for less. Number two, can we get additional funding from our partners? Fundraising is a key strategy and key skill that I have. We can do fundraising and look at what are those activities that we can get our partners to give us, and do not wait until the election day. Even now, from right now, what are those activities so that we can have, I know the current, the kind of pressure the government has, and they're reduction in budgets. So we have to foresee that and come up with strategies, or if this happens, what do we do so that we can still achieve our objective as IEBC. We still want to achieve objective of fair, free, and credible election in 2027. Where do we get resources? That is number one strategy that this board should start engaging from day one. And they should not have an excuse like there was no funding. There was no funding to carry out further education. There's no funding to do adequate testing of these 𝐒𝐸𝐴𝐬𝐶 kits or something like that. Why can the board start foreseeing that? It is actually having that kind of foresight and start addressing that and giving and reading the evaluation report. That was one of the key challenges that they had. No funding, no funding, no funding. How can we use and leverage on the skills that we have to do fundraising and actually do more for less? How can we do things differently? I will bring that, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Professor, please ask some questions.
Thank you, Chair. Madam, it appears that in today's session, it's the men who are humbled by your trailblazing.
Thank you, sir.
So I join my fellow men in the panel in congratulating. Oh, Caroline is saying she also congratulated you. She says it's on record.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe we appreciated it in our hearts. So.
I know, I'm very sure they did. I'm very sure they did. And especially, you entered very early in what I would call the men's public domain, financial management, and you've made strides in it, so heko for that. And with that, I'll follow up from where my colleague Bore left in terms of fiscal prudence. That this is an IEBC that when people see 62 billion, they start comparing with other countries. How much does it cost to vote in America? How much does it cost to vote in South Africa? How much does it cost to vote in Senegal? And why is Kenya so high? This is a country in which I don't think there's any other country in the world in which legal fees for the lawyers of IEBC are just exorbitant. This is a country in which even the partners come in, but still Ivy says we still need more. With that background you have, that we are all agreed that you have scaled the height, if we were, or if you were to become a commissioner, what is this that other commissioners have not done insofar as financial prudence is concerned that you'll bring on board?
Thank you, sir, for that very important question. I think financial prudence is key and very important in our ensuring.
Speak to the mic.
Financial prudence is key and very critical in ensuring that we have accountable, transparent, fair, and also and fair and transparent systems. So that is number one. Number two, you mentioned that actually Kenya could be one of the most expensive. The Kenyan elections, what I'm hearing, could be very expensive compared with what other countries are spending when it comes to election. And some of them, like Botswana's, Rwanda's, and the rest, are actually spent less in terms of per voter. I like things, something to do with continuous improvement. Even when I don't have answers, I will do benchmarking. Sometimes benchmarking can help you find out, if you don't have answers, what is it that others are doing that we are doing? What is making us become most expensive is because of this issue of credibility and transparency, which Kenyans have little trust. So we have to use the most expensive, the most trying to bring as many processes as possible so that Kenyans can see this system, our IEBC, as transparent and credible. So we have to incur all these things. First, I would like you also trying to learn best practices, Professor. If we don't have answers, I will go for best practice. What is it that others are doing that we are not doing? What is it that India is doing with all those millions of people that we are not doing? Probably they are doing it less. Is there a way we can even make sure, in future, if not now, do these elections in bits so that we don't have all of them being done at once? So that we probably will reduce on some of these costs. That could be one way of bringing out some legislation that can help us reduce this burden of having all of this. Number two, we audit what is causing, although ABC is doing credible job in actually bringing about technology use, because technology enhances efficiency, it enhances accuracy and so forth in adding all this in terms of results, transmission, in terms of tallying and so forth. Technology can do a lot of that. So once we have procured technology, which it is a one-off activity, just ensure that it's maintained and it's credible, it remains credible going into the future. So one, I've said, I may not have answers, but I will benchmark actually to make sure that I learn through benchmarking. And I did it in the county, benchmarked, and they improved. Today, I think they are calling about me and say this, I think this is the chief officer that really, because I looked at it and said, no, we can't continue like this. Let's learn from other counties. There's Makueni, there's another county, so you go there and learn. Let's bring, if Miss people come and train you here, what's the problem? Yeah, so you fix the problem as they are. You don't wait. So, and I said, what I said to him is that you actually evaluate the current budget that they have and ask yourself, where can we do more for less? I think I said that. Where can we do more for less? You audit, and as an accountant, that is what we are supposed to do. Find out where can we improve on efficiency and also being economical in the way we do things. How is our procurement processes? Do we ensure that we procure from the most economical means and most economical? Is it transparent, the way we procure? Is there another alternative? You keep asking yourself such questions. I believe, Professor, I will bring those skills to IEBC so that we can strengthen its governance, we can strengthen its financial management system, we can strengthen its risk management system, we strengthen its stakeholdership system. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And my last question in this segment is accountant, auditor, improving financial system. That has been your domain.
Yes, sir.
Can you just tell us, if at all you have some examples of how being in that financial sector, and given your role as an accountant or auditor or even a financial manager, your track record in fighting corruption? Are there some experiences that you can demonstrate to this panel that when I was in this county, when I was in this body, this is what I found, this is the corrupt practices that I found, and this is how I addressed it?
Thank you, sir. I face that in many of the workplaces that I sat. But what became very strong for me is that the whole issue of integrity is so critical in the management of resources. The whole issue of accountability and transparency. An example I can give, and many, is actually when I was in the county government. In the county government, you can easily pay for something that doesn't exist. It's just an error. So I instituted controls. This is some of the controls I instituted. For some things that I think they are of magnitude, I could actually, using my audit background and experience, because all payments at the county must be processed and approved by the chief officer. So through that experience, Professor,
Yes.
I came across several payments that actually needed to be paid. And on suspicion, when I'm thinking, not even on suspicion, I will actually sample them, project the big ones, and call my internal auditor and M&E monitoring and evaluation team. Please go, this is a far away, in some rural areas in West Pokot where you cannot reach. Somebody is built a bridge, or somebody has built a footbridge, but I'm not there. I didn't see it, but everything is there. Their pictures are there. Please go and confirm for me this one, this one, this one, and this one. In that process, I caught some. I caught some.
Thank you.
And from there, they learned that there's a very strong chief officer here. You cannot play around with her. I left that legacy there. You cannot play around with the chief officer with an audit background, and you cannot take anything for granted when you are processing payments. You have to have that audit in mind. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Can you quickly ask your 2 questions, please?
Sure. Other than your deep understanding of public financial management system, I also saw that you have extensively worked with the African Economic Research Consortium, and therefore
Yes, sir.
I believe that it matters, economic, trade, and so on in Africa. You have them at your fingertips.
Somehow I was just hopeful.
What is the total number, or the total membership of COMESA?
Total membership of COMESA, let me not count, but let me say we have.
You can count. There's no
count.
problem. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no problem.
I can say Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and I think Somalia of late.
So you're saying it's 8.
Those are 8, COMESA, roughly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me try another one in an area that you are now seeking to work in. What are the 3 categories of election observers?
Okay, election observers, they are key and very critical partners when we want to make sure there's transparency in our elections. Number 1, we have political parties who should actually observe elections.
Not stakeholders,
Yes.
observers.
Okay, so they are international.
Those who come to
Yes.
observe elections, yes.
They are international and also domestic observers.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. We have come to the end of our questions to you. Do you have any question or comment?
I don't have any questions, sir. I just want to thank you and for giving me this opportunity, and also to wish you the very best and God's blessings in this very important work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have enjoyed learning from you and hearing from you. We wish you well. Please pick your certificates. You find them at the door. The notebook and the pen are yours, even the water.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome to lunch if you have time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.